We talk about the family, Bishop Sheen. Are you distressed by the fact that in many cases you have men and women living together without marriage?
Yes, and principally because it is the destruction of love. Unfortunately, in English, we have only one word for love. So we have to say, I love pickles, I love the New York Mets, I love God. The Greeks had 3 words for it. And 2 of them that were important were eros, which was friendship love, when Freud made the erotic, or sex. Then there's the agape, sacrificial love. Now when you're speaking of the family and these new customs that have sprung up, we have only eros, the erotic love. We have a love in which the ego projects itself into another and says, I love you, when all that is loved is the pleasure that is found in the other person. And this kind of love is the destruction of the family and the destruction of the human person. As a matter of fact, I believe one of the reasons why we have so much neuroses and psychoses is this tremendous affirmation of the self. I gotta do my thing. I have to have my pleasure. You bend yourself to my will. When real love does not mean to have and to own and to possess. It means to be had, to be owned, to be possessed. The ancients were right in giving Cupid an arrow, something that wounds, something that sacrifices self for another. Do these people ever show love, for example, for their neighbor and for the downtrodden? No. It is generally for the satisfaction of self. So this kind of life is producing neurotics and psychotics in our civilization.
You mean more so than ever?
More so than ever, yes. People today are without goals and without purposes. That is one of the reasons why our civilization is erotic. We try to make the intensity of a sex experience atone for a want of a purpose in life. Just as when we're lost in an automobile, we drive faster.
Take your average woman in mid-30s, say, who is a mother, a wife. She's bored, she's restless. You say that she is likely or would regard a sexual experience as something that might fulfill her?
One, I would say nothing about that particular woman, but she has something that can give her a passion. That's the raising of children. Believe me, she's got some arrows that she has to shoot. And she'll be held responsible whether or not those arrows ever hit the mark.
Well, what can you say to that woman, though, to make her aware of this, what you're saying about raising those children? Because the tendency is to say, oh, I can't wait to get out of the house, away from children. I'm so tired of children underfoot.
All right. What do you say to anybody, not just that woman? What do you say to anybody?
Yeah.
What do you want? Why are you bored? You want 3 things. If you could take your heart out as a kind of crucible and distill out of it its inmost cravings, what would they be? One, you want life. Not for 5 more minutes. Not for 5 more years. What else do you want? You want truth. Not just what you read in the paper. Truths of geography, literature, science, everything. We hate to have secrets kept from us. Thirdly, what do you want? Love. And a love without satiety. A love without fed-upness. A love that is constant. That's what you want. Now, do you find them here? Do you find life here? No. Why? Because life is mingled with its shadow death. We get old. Truth, that's mingled with the shadow error. Love, that is mingled with the shadow hate and satiety. So here we are in this rat race. Something we want, something we can't find. What's the answer? Are we to say life is a mockery? Or are we to say, as we might in this room, what's the source of light? Not under the chair, there's light is mingled with shadow. Not behind the bookcases, there light is mingled with darkness. We would say as logical beings, well, source of light, I have to go out to something that's pure light. So, if you want a life and a truth and a love, a life that is not mingled with the shadow death, and a truth that is not mingled with the shadow error, and a love that is not mingled with the shadow hate, you want pure life, pure truth, pure love. That's what you want. That's only a definition of God. And when you want that, you have everything, and then everything fits in place.